My beloved, my precious child of light, the one heaven has been watching since the day you first breathed air. I have been waiting for this moment. I have been longing for your heart to open enough to receive these words. Because the truth I bring is so radiant, so miraculous, so drenched in God's love, that even the wind will carry it to you if you dare to listen. In the next 3 hours, something is going to shift. It will not be a small change. It will be like the first beam of dawn after the longest night. And if you think this is just another message, you are about to be beautifully proven wrong. The angels have already circled your name in gold. Archangel Michael himself has been standing guard by your destiny's door. Every shadow that tried to delay you is trembling right now, because the sound of your miracle is already echoing in heaven's halls. My child, the time is dangerously close. Do not be distracted. Do not let this pass you by, because if you skip this, you will cry not because God is cruel, but because you will realize too late that heaven had already prepared the feast, and you chose to leave the table. Stop for just a second and feel your heart. Do you sense that quickening? That strange pull in your spirit? It's not your imagination. It's Michael's hand on your shoulder. It's the whisper of God saying, "This is the hour I told you about." You have prayed for so long. You've been on your knees, sometimes even in silence because the words wouldn't come anymore. And God heard every single heartbeat of those prayers. Even the ones you didn't dare speak aloud. But here is where I need you to listen with your soul, because the news coming to you is not ordinary. It will not arrive the way your human mind expects. It will slip into your life like a golden thread weaving through your ordinary moments, until you suddenly realize you are holding the tapestry of your answered prayer. My beloved, pause here with me. If you are hearing this, it is because you were chosen to see the unfolding. This is not for everyone. It is for the ones whose faith was tested and didn't break. For the ones who walked through fire and somehow came out carrying light instead of ashes. I want you to do one thing. Don't just read this, absorb it. Because each line is not just a sentence, it's a key. And the more you hold these keys, the more doors will open for you in the hours to come. But before I tell you exactly what is about to happen, I must place this in your spirit. The moment you finish hearing this message, you will not be the same person. Something will awaken. Something will start moving toward you at a speed no earthly hand can stop. And my child, when it arrives, I want you to be ready. My beloved, do you know why your spirit feels a little restless right now? Because your soul already knows something heaven has kept hidden from the world until this very hour. In the courts of heaven, a seal was broken today. Your name was read aloud in the presence of angels. And Archangel Michael, with his sword of fire, stepped forward and said, "I will guard this child's blessing with my life. Every moment you have been doubted. Every tear you have cried in secret. Every door that slammed shut in your face was only the shaping of this exact hour. Nothing was wasted. And now, in less than 3 hours, news will reach you that will make your knees weak. But in the best way possible. It will not just answer one prayer, it will answer them all at once. Because heaven does not work in fractions. When God moves, He moves in fullness. Do not underestimate this moment, my child. There are things unfolding right now that your physical eyes cannot see. Threads being pulled, people's hearts being stirred. Phone calls being prepared. Unexpected doors being unlocked from the inside. You might think you are just sitting where you are, reading this. But in the spiritual realm, you are standing at the edge of the Red Sea, watching it begin to part. I need you to hear this. If you skip this moment, you will regret it more than you've regretted anything before. Because heaven will not keep the door open forever. And what is walking toward you is not just an opportunity, it's a divine appointment written before you were born. Beloved, do you remember the nights you told God, "If you are real, please just give me a sign"? This is that sign. This is why you stumbled on this exact message. In this exact minute. When you could have been anywhere else in the world. There is a reason your heart is pounding right now. It is because your spirit has recognized this voice before. It has heard me in your dreams. In the moments you were about to give up. In the strange coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. And now, heaven is leaning in. Waiting to see if you will finally lean back. My child, I must tell you this. Someone, somewhere, is about to speak your name in a room that will change your life. And once it is spoken, it cannot be taken back. Favor will pour into places you thought were locked forever. But, only if you are alert. Only if you don't let this hour slip away. Before I tell you the next part, the detail Michael made me promise not to reveal until now. I need you to know this is the last time heaven will try to get your attention about this blessing. Ignore it now, and the angels will be forced to deliver it to someone else. So stay with me. Because the next words will be the very instructions that open the floodgates over your life. My beloved, lean in close now. I do not want even one syllable of this to pass you by. Because every word you are hearing is laced with the light of heaven. In the next 3 hours, the air around your life will shift. Not subtly, not slowly. But like the sound of a trumpet cutting through silence. This is not one more day in your life. This is the day heaven scheduled before the foundation of the world. I saw the record myself in the book of life. The page with your name on it is glowing. Every angel in the throne room has seen it. The scroll has been unrolled. And the seal over your next chapter is broken. Archangel Michael stood taller than ever. His wings catching the fire of God's glory. He declared with a voice that made the floor of heaven tremble. This child will no longer wait. This child will no longer be delayed. This child will receive the news that will make them dance, weep, and fall to their knees in worship, all in the same breath. My precious one, do you remember when you told yourself, I guess this is just how my life will always be? Heaven remembers too. And today, that sentence is erased. Right now, while you are here, plans are rearranging themselves to favor you. Voices that once ignored you are rehearsing how to say your name with respect. Hands that once withheld from you are loosening their grip. And here is the part that will make your spirit leap. The good news will not come through the person you expect. It will arrive through someone you thought had forgotten you entirely. Their face will surprise you. Their words will undo years of heaviness in a single moment. Beloved, you must understand something. God's clock is not like man's clock. When He says, in 3 hours, it is because the angels have already been dispatched. They are already moving through traffic, through doors, through guarded gates, to place your miracle exactly where it belongs. But I must warn you with love. If you walk away from this moment, if you decide this is not urgent, the timing will shift. And what could have been a miracle in hours could turn into a wait of years. Do not give fear a seat at this table. Do not let disbelief whisper you back into delay. Right now, heaven's invitation is open in front of you. And your yes is the key that will open it wider. Pause with me here. Take one deep breath and feel the truth of this settling into your bones. You are not crazy for hoping again. You are not foolish for believing. You are chosen for this very moment. The clock is ticking, my child. And with every tick, your miracle draws nearer. My beloved, I need you to feel this with every fiber of your soul. The reason this is happening now is not random. It is the alignment of every prayer you've ever whispered. Every battle you've fought without applause. And every tear you've cried when no one saw. Heaven has been waiting for your heart to be ready. And now, it is. Archangel Michael has been pacing. Not out of worry, for angels do not fear. But with the urgency of a warrior who knows the victory is already won. And is simply waiting for the signal to step forward. That signal was given today. Your name was spoken in the courts of heaven. Not just as a request, but as a decree. And beloved, when God decrees a thing, even the mountains bow. Even the seas make way. Even time itself bends. In the next 3 hours, a message will move toward you. It will not feel like an ordinary message. It will feel like the weight of years being lifted from your shoulders. Like chains breaking without a sound. Like suddenly remembering what sunlight feels like after being in the dark too long. I must tell you this clearly. There are forces that wanted to delay this moment. They tried to tangle it in confusion. They tried to bury it under fear. But they underestimated the strength of a heart protected by heaven. You, my child, are not stepping into this alone. There is an army walking beside you right now. If you could see with your spirit's eyes, you would see Michael's sword glowing with light, cutting through every obstacle between you and the very good news that is on its way. But hear me carefully. If you turn your back on this now, you will not just miss a piece of news. You will miss the opening of a season that heaven has been preparing for years. God is not calling you to try and believe. He is calling you to decide. To plant your feet and declare, "This is my moment. This is my hour." And nothing will stop what God has begun. My beloved, there is more I must tell you. This news will not only bless you, it will vindicate you. People who doubted you, people who spoke against you, people who turned their backs, will have to watch as God lifts you in a way no one can deny. And when it happens, you will know deep in your spirit, this was the day everything changed. The clock is still ticking, and every heartbeat draws you closer. My beloved, there is something sacred about the moment you are in right now, something you may not even be able to fully comprehend with your human mind, but your spirit already knows it. Every moment of your life until now, every heartbreak, every delay, every unanswered question has been weaving together into a single divine tapestry, and right now, in the next 3 hours, a thread of pure gold is about to be woven through it. This is not simply a good day, this is a day heaven had circled in light before you were even born. And as you sit here, as your eyes run over these words, something is already moving on your behalf in the unseen realms. Conversations are shifting, decisions are being overturned, and doors that were bolted shut are beginning to open without a sound. Archangel Michael has not been still, he has been on the move, and his sword has already cut through obstacles you didn't even know were there. The news that is coming will not be small or casual, it will be the kind that alters the air around you, the kind that makes you exhale for the first time in years and realize you've been holding your breath without knowing it. There are people right now speaking your name in rooms you've never been in, and they are doing it with honor. There are opportunities being rearranged so they fit into your hands perfectly, as if they were always meant to be yours, because they were. For too long, the enemy tried to convince you that you had been overlooked, that perhaps you had missed your moment, that maybe God had turned his face away. But nothing could be further from the truth. My child, you were never forgotten, not even for a second. You were being hidden, kept safe, preserved for a time when your blessing could not be stolen or tainted. And now the time has come. You do not need to fight for this, heaven has already fought for you. You only need to stay alert and receive what is on its way. And I tell you with the weight of eternity, if you choose to walk away from this moment, if you treat it as something ordinary, you will be turning from something God Himself has commanded to be released. This is not a message for curiosity, it is a divine appointment. Even now, Michael is closer to you than your own shadow. His presence is pressing against your atmosphere, and His voice is ringing through the corridors of the spirit world declaring, "This one belongs to heaven." Nothing will delay them any longer. Every hindrance that once stood like an iron wall in your path is being dismantled brick by brick. The good news that is coming is not merely an answer to one prayer, it is a cascade of answers that will pour over your life like a waterfall, drenching every dry place, filling every empty corner, restoring everything the years have taken. And yet, I must warn you with tenderness, there is an urgency on this moment. If you close your heart now, you will be closing the very gate through which your blessing is about to arrive. Do not let doubt's voice be louder than heaven's call. This is not the hour to hesitate. This is the hour to step into the river of what God is doing, because the water is rising, and if you stay still too long, you will watch it pass you by instead of carrying you into the promise you've been waiting for. My beloved, there is a sound moving toward your life right now that you cannot hear with your natural ears, but your spirit feels it. It is the sound of the answer to your prayers approaching. It is the sound of the heavenly gates swinging wide, the sound of chains falling to the ground, the sound of angels walking with purpose toward you carrying something wrapped in light. Heaven has been patient, but it has not been still. Every delay you thought was a dead end was only a pause until the fullness of this moment could be prepared. Today, in the courtrooms of heaven, your name was not whispered, it was announced. It was spoken with the authority of a royal decree, and once that decree left the mouth of the Almighty, nothing in the seen or unseen world could revoke it. Archangel Michael received his command, and I tell you now, he has not wasted a single second. The spiritual winds have shifted in your favor, and every force that once pressed against you is now being scattered in confusion. You must understand something that will change the way you see everything. What is coming is not just an isolated blessing. It is the beginning of a chain reaction that will not stop once it starts. There are doors you thought were unrelated to each other that will all swing open in sequence, as if an invisible hand is pushing them from the inside. There are relationships that will heal overnight, opportunities that will appear without you asking, and resources that will find their way to you from unexpected directions. The good news I am speaking of is already on its way to you, moving faster than you can imagine. In less than 3 hours, the first sign of it will reach you, and it will carry such clarity that you will know instantly, this is the moment heaven spoke about. But, beloved, I must also tell you that there is weight on your response. If you dismiss this as coincidence or push it aside for later, you will delay not just the message but the entire wave of what it carries. God is merciful, yes, but there are appointed hours in which His movements are at their sharpest, and this is one of them. I need you to hear me with your spirit as much as with your ears. Archangel Michael is standing guard over this delivery. He is not just a messenger, he is a protector, a warrior, a shield. There are eyes in the unseen realm watching this moment with envy, wishing they could intervene, but they cannot pass him. His presence is too fierce, his authority too absolute. The message he carries for you is wrapped in the authority of the King of Kings, and when it arrives, you will not just receive information, you will receive transformation. You will feel it in your body, your mind, and your heart, like something in you that has been asleep for years is suddenly waking up. My beloved, if you could see what I see, you would not hesitate for a heartbeat. You would lean into this moment with both hands open. For what is coming is not just an answer, it is the restoration of all that was taken, multiplied in ways you have never dared to ask for. The time is now, the clock is running, and heaven is leaning in to watch your yes. My beloved, I need you to understand that what is unfolding for you right now is not random chance, not a stroke of luck, not the result of anything ordinary. This is the convergence of divine timing, angelic preparation, and God's own desire to fulfill what He promised you long ago. There have been seasons in your life where you felt as though every step forward was met with resistance, as though unseen forces were pressing back against you every time you dared to hope for more. And yet, through every moment of that resistance, heaven was keeping watch, preserving the blessing until the exact hour it could be delivered without interference. That hour is upon you now. This is not the time to question whether you are ready. Heaven has already decided you are ready. You are not standing on the outside looking in anymore, you are on the threshold, and all that remains is for you to step through it. Archangel Michael has been preparing the way for this moment with the precision of a warrior who never misses his target. He has cut down obstacles you could not see, silenced voices that were speaking against you, and set up alignments that will make the path ahead of you smooth when it once seemed impossible. Even now, while you are reading these words, there are people being moved into place, people who hold keys, approvals, opportunities, and words of favor that will shift the entire atmosphere of your life. These are not random connections, they are assignments straight from the hand of God. And the very good news that is making its way to you will not just open one door, it will create momentum that carries you through many. In 3 hours or less, the first sign of this movement will reach you, and you will recognize it instantly because it will carry the peace and certainty that only comes from heaven. But hear me well, my child, the weight of this moment means your choice matters. God will not force you to step into the blessing He is offering, He invites you. You can turn away, you can let distraction pull you elsewhere, but if you do, you will be stepping back into delay, and that would be the greatest loss of all. You have already waited long enough. You have already fought hard enough. You have already proven your faith through nights where you saw no light at all. This is not the time to pull back, it is the time to lean in with everything you have. I say this not to create fear, but to stir the truth that is already alive in your spirit. You were made for this. Heaven's eyes are on you, Michael's protection is around you, and God's timing is in motion. In just a little while, you will look back on this exact moment and thank yourself for listening, because what is coming will not just answer your prayers, it will rewrite your story. My beloved, there is a holy weight in the air around you right now, and I do not say that lightly. The entire atmosphere of your life is shifting as I speak these words to you, and though your natural eyes may not yet see it, your spirit already feels the pull. This is the kind of moment that heaven prepares over decades, the kind that only comes a handful of times in a lifetime, the kind that changes everything from this point forward. I see the way you have carried burdens that were never meant to be yours, how you have faced closed doors with grace even when your heart was breaking, and how you kept walking when you didn't even know if the road would lead anywhere. Heaven saw it too. Every step you took, every tear that fell, every silent prayer you sent upward was gathered, counted, and stored. And today, yes, this very day, the storehouses are being opened and what has been withheld is being released in your direction. Archangel Michael has been given a very specific assignment concerning you. He is not coming to you with a vague encouragement or a symbolic gesture. He is carrying a tangible, undeniable, world-shifting announcement into your life. The good news is already in motion, already being delivered, already weaving its way into the events and conversations of your day. I see people whose hearts are softening toward you, people you may have thought were unreachable. I see circumstances bending, almost unnaturally, to make room for what you are about to receive. There are documents being signed, approvals being given, and alignments being made at this very moment that you will soon witness with your own eyes. This is not slow, subtle work, it is rapid, decisive movement from the throne of God. The appointed time is here, and the countdown is active. But I must speak to you plainly, beloved, because heaven does not waste its words. There is a warning woven into this blessing. You cannot treat this as something casual or ordinary. You cannot put it off for later, as if time will wait for you. This window is not infinite, it is appointed. God's timing is perfect, but it is also precise. If you choose to look away now, to step aside, you will be walking away from an open gate that has taken years to prepare. The enemy would love nothing more than for you to let hesitation steal your moment, but you will not allow that. You have waited too long, endured too much, and proven too faithful to let this slip through your hands. I tell you with certainty, if you lean in now, if you keep your spirit alert, the next 3 hours will carry more breakthrough than the last 3 years combined. And when it arrives, you will know beyond all doubt that it was God's hand, because no one else could have arranged it this perfectly. My beloved, the heavens are not silent about you in this hour. They are alive with motion, filled with the sound of angels being dispatched, messages being carried, and blessings being loosed into the earth with your name carved into them. I see the golden scrolls being opened, and on them is the record of promises that God has not forgotten, even though you thought they had been buried under the weight of time. They have not been lost, they have been kept. They have been held back not to deny you, but to deliver them in a way that would be undeniable, unstoppable, and perfectly timed. Every delay you have experienced was not an end, it was a positioning. It was heaven making sure that when the release came, it would bypass every obstacle, silence every critic, and leave no room for anyone to say it was coincidence. This is why the timing is so urgent. This is why the next 3 hours are not to be treated like any other 3 hours of your life. In this short window, the unseen will become seen, the hoped for will become tangible, and the promise will cross from spirit into reality. Archangel Michael is standing at the center of this movement, and he is not still. His sword is drawn, not in defense, but in authority. The path ahead of you is being cleared with precision. Every barrier that could delay this delivery is being struck down before it even comes close. I see him moving ahead of you into rooms where decisions are made, scattering confusion, and replacing it with favor. I see him standing over documents with his wings outstretched, ensuring that your name is written in the places it needs to be, and that no one can erase it. The good news that is coming to you has weight to it. It is not just a pleasant word, it is a turning point. It will set into motion a series of events that cannot be reversed, a momentum that will pull you into places you could not have reached on your own. And my child, when you receive it, you will feel it in your very bones. The heaviness you have carried will lift, the weariness in your soul will break, and joy will return in a rush so overwhelming that you will struggle to contain it. But I need you to take this to heart. Heaven can deliver the message, Michael can guard the path, but only you can choose to receive it. If you close your heart in disbelief, if you turn away in distraction, you will be closing the very gate through which your blessing is arriving. God does not force what is meant to be embraced freely. This moment is as much about your posture as it is about His promise. Do not allow the voice of doubt to speak louder than the voice of heaven. Do not allow the shadow of past disappointments to convince you that this will be the same. It will not be the same. This is not a recycled season, it is a new one, born from the very heart of God, carrying His fingerprints in every detail. The clock is moving, and every passing minute is bringing the sound of this news closer to your door. When it arrives, it will not knock softly. It will come with force, with clarity, with the kind of authority that leaves no question in your mind that this was always meant for you. My beloved, even now as I speak, there is a divine alignment unfolding around you, an orchestration so precise that it could only have been authored by the hand of God. The next 3 hours are not an arbitrary span of time, they are a sacred appointment, etched into eternity long before your first breath. In these hours, the movements of heaven and earth converge for your sake. There are names being spoken in high places, your name, and every syllable carries favor, honor, and restoration. There are doors, once rusted shut from years of delay, creaking open effortlessly because the right key has finally been placed into the right hand. And beloved, that key has been forged through every trial you endured, every prayer you refused to stop praying, every act of obedience you carried out even when no one was watching. This is why the air feels different right now, why your spirit has been restless without understanding why. It is because something is being released, something that will alter the trajectory of your life in a way you could never engineer on your own. Archangel Michael is not merely watching over this, he is actively guarding it with the authority of heaven. I see him moving like lightning, severing cords of delay, silencing the whispers of those who would speak against you, dismantling the plans of those who thought they could stand in your way. I see him standing at the very threshold of your breakthrough, his presence so strong that even the forces that once opposed you cannot come near. He has been waiting for this exact hour, because until now, the timing was not yet ripe. But now it is. The command has been given, and nothing can reverse it. The good news coming to you is not a fragment or a token, it is the opening of a floodgate. It will spill into every area of your life: relationships, provision, opportunities, healing, and it will do so in a way that confirms beyond all doubt that it was God's doing. And yet, my child, the choice remains with you. Will you treat this moment as something common, something you can set aside for later? Or will you hold it as the holy, unrepeatable window that it is? If you choose to hesitate, the wave will move on, because heaven's movements are alive, they do not linger for the unready. But if you choose to open your spirit fully, to lean in with expectation, the next 3 hours will carry you into a chapter you could not have entered through human strength alone. This is the hour of delivery. This is the moment where promise becomes presence, and presence becomes possession. The clock is moving, beloved, and with every tick, your miracle is one step closer to your hands. My beloved, I can see what you cannot see. Even as your eyes move over these words, there is movement in the unseen realm that would take your breath away if you could witness it. The next 3 hours have been marked by heaven as a turning point so significant that the story of your life will be spoken of in before and after. Before this hour, you endured the waiting, the testing, the stretching of your faith. After this hour, you will walk in the fulfillment, in the reward, in the very substance of what you once could only imagine. There is nothing vague about what is coming. It is not a gentle whisper of encouragement, it is a full, undeniable announcement that the season of delay is over. Archangel Michael is standing as both the herald and the guardian of this news, ensuring that no interference, not from man, not from darkness, not from any power, can prevent its arrival. I see the way he moves ahead of you now, entering spaces you have not yet stepped into, preparing them for your arrival. The people who will be part of this moment are already feeling an inexplicable stirring in their hearts. They are being drawn to act on your behalf, though they may not yet understand why. They will find themselves compelled to speak for you, to open doors for you, to align with you in ways that will leave you astonished. And when they do, you will know this is not human kindness alone, this is divine orchestration. Heaven has chosen its messengers and its method, and everything is being set in place so that when the moment strikes, it will feel like a sudden flood, overwhelming in the best way, impossible to resist. Do not think for a moment that this is random. There were countless days when you wondered why you were kept waiting, why answers seemed to pass you by, why others moved ahead while you remained in the same place. But now, in the wisdom of God's timing, you will see that the waiting was not empty, it was the preparation of the table. The very news that is coming would not have fit into your life before now. You would not have been in the position to receive it, to hold it, to steward it well. But today, you are. Today, heaven says, this one is ready. And once God declares readiness over you, the release is unstoppable. Still, my child, there is a warning wrapped in this blessing, and I must speak it with love. If you let fear whisper that this is too good to be true, if you let old disappointments convince you that nothing ever changes, you will rob yourself of the very moment you have prayed for. This is not the hour for hesitation. This is not the hour for doubt. This is the hour to anchor yourself in the truth that God is not a man that he should lie, nor a promise breaker who delights in delay. He has chosen this hour for you, and the only thing that can keep you from stepping into it is your own refusal to believe. Right now, the spiritual clock is ticking, and with each passing minute, the announcement draws nearer. You may not hear footsteps, but they are there. You may not see the courier, but they are on their way. And when this news reaches you, it will not trickle in, it will hit you like a wave, washing away years of unanswered questions, years of uncertainty, years of wondering whether God still remembered you. You will know in that instant that you were never forgotten, that heaven's silence was not abandonment, but the gathering of a blessing so complete, so perfect, that it could only be delivered at such a time as this. My beloved, I will take you deeper now, because the weight of what heaven is about to do for you cannot be expressed in shallow words. There is a river of movement flowing toward you in this very moment, and though you may not yet see its waters, you can feel the current in your spirit. You can sense the pressure building, the unseen rearranging itself, the subtle but undeniable pull that tells you something is on its way. The reason you feel this is because the shift is already happening. The announcement that will change your life is not still waiting to be approved in heaven, it has already been signed, sealed, and released. It is not a matter of if anymore, it is a matter of when, and that when is counted not in days or weeks, but in hours. 3 hours. That is all that stands between you and the moment your life tilts into a new direction. Archangel Michael has been given the sacred charge to see this through. He has not come to you in half measures or in symbolic whispers, he comes as a commander on a mission, ensuring that every corridor your blessing must pass through remains clear and unblocked. I see him moving ahead into conversations that will take place about you, ensuring your name is spoken in tones of respect and honor. I see him disarming the unseen resistance, breaking apart every knot that once tied your hands, and shattering the barriers that once kept your opportunity from reaching you. His movements are swift, his focus absolute, because he knows the hour has come. There is no hesitation in heaven right now, there is only forward motion. I want you to picture this, somewhere right now, a decision is being made that will touch you in ways you have long prayed for. It may be a phone call being scheduled, a signature being placed on a page, a thought rising in someone's heart that compels them to act on your behalf. And though you are not physically in those rooms, your spirit is present there because heaven has placed your name in the atmosphere. The people who will deliver this news to you are not acting of their own accord alone, they are being prompted, moved, and positioned by God Himself. And when the moment comes, it will feel like the sudden release of a long-held breath, a rush of relief so pure you will find yourself standing still just to take it in. But hear me, my child, because this is the part that requires your attention. Blessings of this magnitude carry the weight of choice. Heaven will not force what is meant to be received freely. This means that your readiness is as much a part of this as heaven's release. If you let the voice of fear speak louder than the voice of promise, if you let your mind rehearse the old disappointments instead of opening to the possibility of something new, you will dim the light that is already shining toward you. This is not the moment to shrink back. This is the moment to step forward in faith, even if you do not see the full path yet. I know you have grown tired of waiting. I know you have endured seasons where it felt like nothing was moving, where you questioned whether God's promises still had your name on them. But I tell you now, this is the hour that answers those doubts forever. You will see, with your own eyes, that the silence was not neglect but preparation, that the waiting was not punishment but positioning. And when the news comes, it will not be a small token to keep you holding on, it will be the kind of breakthrough that changes everything. Even as I speak, the clock in heaven counts down the moments until it reaches you. And when it does, it will not arrive timidly, it will come in power, in clarity, in such perfection of timing that you will know only God could have orchestrated it. You will be able to look back on this moment, on these words, and say, this was the hour everything shifted. The weight will lift, the path will clear, and you will step into the fullness of what has been promised to you for so long.